The life of Jesus of Nazareth, spiritually given by his Spirit through Arnold of Poughkeepsie, New York, describing his essence, his oneness with God and his oneness with brethren, his relationship to the Word, and his relationship to man. Said to have, well, from March 1853, Appendix 3, Provision for Further Investigation. Whatever amusement or instruction you may derive from this book, believe it to be designed for nothing but your advancement in knowledge. By it, you are often referred to the books before published and now being published, entitled The History of the Origin of All Things. These books form two series. The first in 3 small volumes, and the second in 1 volume, though divided into 3 books about the size of the first 3. These books all bear the same title, but the first is particularly a history of man, the second of the earth and of the divine influx to men, the third particularly of the spiritual side of man after the death of the body. The second series, first particularly a history of paradise, second the relations of matter to life and of the bodies to souls and spirits, the third of the progress of man's spirit and soul to knowledge in the world of future life. All these books go to make up a whole, which must be read with much care to arrive at their true meaning, because without labor they will not make an impression upon your minds, so as to be remembered. And if not remembered and weighed and compared with themselves, you will not reach such a comprehension of them as will enable you to appreciate them as becoming from so high a source as they profess to be. Blessed are they who can receive them from their internal evidence. More blessed are they than those who receive them from signs outwardly given. But those to whom the first is not enough, but who desire the truth, and like Thomas, are willing to acknowledge it, when presented with unquestioned evidence they themselves have asked for as sufficient, to those shall be given other evidences, such as will and should satisfy such inquirers of the truth and authenticity of these books. Look for the rules in them for testing them. This book I leave to your own internal evidence, and its own internal evidence. The first you should desire to find within you, for there I am except ye be reprobate, and the last is to be found in that same way I've mentioned, by the application of your reasoning powers to its study, and the comparison with itself and other works published by me through this medium. Be then a sincere, earnest, industrious seeker after truth, and though you spend much time and make many sacrifices in that pursuit, its attainment will repay all and furnish you with that source of comfort and happiness, that joy and gratitude, that true and perfect peace, which is never parted with willingly, and only leaves a man because he does not afford it a pleasant home, but disturbs it by selfish desires and unholy aspirations. Such is the whole of my scheme, and such is the whole of my plan of calling you. Then, thus far developed, hereafter I shall make further revelation, but I shall, as heretofore, wait for the proper time to arrive, for my time is God's time, and his time is fixed by his immutable will to be when his unmistakable wisdom declares it should be. Such is the claim I make, and such the proof I offer. If any spirit contradict it, let him not be believed. He is in darkness, and many such there be. Yet even those who will not believe them, or be passive to their influence or commands, will think their impeachment enough to overthrow all I have given, because I do not as I might cause them to be silent. Such would have joined in the cry at Jerusalem, If thou be the Son of God, come down from the cross, and we will believe. Well, if he broke free, doesn't mean, necessarily as God, but some people might believe that sort of thing, if they see that sort of thing. While if I had come down from the cross before their eyes, they would not have believed. Such are resolved to know the truth, but their preconceived opinions are ideas as truth, and such seek to be established and undisturbed, while the truth seekers seek truth undefiled, unmixed.